everyone, my name is Jerry. Today I'm going to make something quick, something easy. Resident Evil 4 Remake is coming out at the end of the month, so I wanted to make something from that game. You can't really make guns and things like that, like, because YouTube doesn't like the word gun in your videos. So I decided to make Krauser's knife. I drew up a pattern. So let's get into it. Right, so what I did off camera, I drew up a pattern. This is just hand drawn. Drew it on a bit of cardboard. I didn't see the need to print anything out because it's simple knife, right? So the plan is I'm going to put a core in the middle of it. I already made it. This bit, it's made out of plastic. Can't remember what the type of this plastic's called. What's this plastic called again? Doesn't matter. I'll pop it up on screen when I remember. It's a little bit wobbly, right? Well, you can see it there. So I was trying to put a core in it so the whole thing wouldn't be wobbly. But my hope is that when I put more layers of foam on it, it'll stiffen up. Now, it doesn't really need to be perfect. If it wobbles a little bit when I have it, it's fine. I'm not going to be going around knifing people with it. It just needs to be less like... Right, I'll show you. So if it's just foam, it's going to be like that. Right? It's going to bend on its own. With this plus foam, it doesn't bend, right? Unless I actually can. There's the first blooper for you. It doesn't bend unless I actually try to bend it, right? And it wobbles a little bit when you move it. But if you put layers of foam over it, it should stiffen up, right? So this is 3mm thick, right? So the plan is to put 5mm over the tree in the bottom for the grip, right? I'm not overly worried about the grip because it's thick and it's stuff, so it should be fine, right? It's this bit here that I'm worried about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3mm foam on the sides to make the side of the blade. Then I'm going to put 2 layers of 3mm over the top again, which making the blade 9mm, which make the handle would be 13mm then. So there'll be a good difference in it, right? Then I'm going to file down the edges and have at it, right? First off, right, I'm going to try and cut out I'm going to cut it out oversized, right? And I'm going to glue up all the pieces back together. I can use a blade to cut them all out exactly, because if you cut 3 exact pieces from the pattern and you glue them all together, they're not going to be right. You're going to have to sand it down, and then it's going to be smaller than the actual pattern, right? So it's much easier to just cut them out oversized and then cut them all together so it'll be all the same size, right? That's the first things first, right? By using scrap bits of foam, I'm trying to utilize foam I have, so it should be, instead of cutting up new bits of foam, I'm not gonna waste as much, so to speak. That's what it's all about. When you're on a budget, don't don't use the good stuff when you don't have to. I'm going to have to cut the bottom bit as flush as I can, because that's going to go onto the blade, right? But the rest of it is going to be overcut, right? So cut it out with a nice sharp blade. There we go. And then I'm just going to haphazardly cut around it. Right. And cut out a whole lot at the same time later on. So I'm going to cut out this middle bit and I'm going to glue the edges on like that, and then I'm going to glue a layer on top and a layer on bottom. That should stiffen up. Oops! Since it's a smaller project, I can take my time. A lot of the time when I have like a bigger project, I'm rushing and I forget stuff, and you know, I'm like, oh my god, I should get this out. It's been a month since I haven't made a video, and I do that even when I'm not recording. Like, I just get panicky and I lash things out and make mistakes. Like, it's definitely a flaw I need to work on. You know, I just realised something there cutting this out. I'm going to need to have the markings on the other side so I can cut it all out at the same time. So even though I'm thinking ahead, I'm making mistakes. So what I need to do is I need to flip it over. Okay, look, I'll cut this bit off, just so I know, and I'll mark the underside with the pencil. Now, so I'm going to try and just glue no. Needs to be exactly in the middle, and it's not, so come on, don't let me down, glue. Trying this for the first time, right? Ah, stop! That's the thing about contact cement, it doesn't give you a second chance. You know, you have to kind of be exact with it. Right, oh there, I'm happy with that. Nice, 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 nice. Now what I need to do next is find more foam that I've lost. Where's the bit? Where's that bit? Oh, for God's sake. Did I throw it in the bin? Or is it on the floor? I did. Fucking look! The bits I need are in the bloody bin. Anyway, and the next bit is glue on this bit. Jesus, these are 3mm. Why isn't enough bloody fit? Oh, it will fit. I'll put in. It's about 1/2 millimeter off. That's that little kind of line you can feel on the top of it. So what I might do is just put a bit of card or something in there. This is 3mm foam, and this is 3mm plastic. It's just off a little bit. Right. Okay. It's not the worst. See, this is my problem. I'm getting ahead of myself. And I need to just calm down and take my time. It's not going to be, you know, I'm not going to fuck up if I just take my time, right? And I realise I probably shouldn't have dropped that F-bomb. Since I only have a few subscribers, I don't care. It's actually coming along pretty easy. Once you have it planned out in your head and you know what you're doing. So I was at Dublin Comic Con this past weekend, and while I took a break I was like, what will I build next? And I thought, you know, I need to build something quick and easy to get another video out as fast as I can. And this is what I thought, and I've always wanted to do something from Resident Evil. It's one of my favourite game series ever. But, you know, to do something that's not a gun or anything like that, where YouTube will just go, sorry, you said you're using a gun, we don't like that. Had a great time, absolutely great time at Dublin Comic Con. I wore my Batman costume that I just finished, and I got loads of photographs and people asking me to, you know, pose for them and whatnot before the costume broke. And it broke because my son Ben stepped on the cape, and the cape tore off one of the latches. Now I didn't mind because I was after having enough fun at that stage, like, and it was an accident. He didn't do it on purpose, of course, but it's repairable, right? And you can put, say, paper in between them to stop it from sticking before you go, or you can just go on like this. So hold one bit like with your hand, because it won't stick to your hand. You've no glue in your hand, so it shouldn't stick to your hands, right? And then go in. Don't pull the foam. Try not to pull the foam, right? Because if you pull it, it might very well warp the blade, right? So if you're pulling the foam, it's going to stick onto a different bit, and it'll either compress the foam or stretch it, and the blade will look all warped. And then this part go on here, and then I can cut out the whole lot together. Oh, it's very wobbly. God damn it. Oh look, I'm gonna go with it. Ideally, I think I'd put a little rod inside it, and I don't have a little rod to go into it, like, so that's why I was thinking of doing this. You can get stronger plastics, which I think I might use next time. Sintra plastic, I think it's called. I'm going to use my Cos Tools circle cutter, and I'm just going to cut straight through this, because I want that corner to be as best as I can get it. Get out, you hairy swine. There we go. And then I use this one for the corner here. This is the way it's supposed to be used. Of course, Gerry's using things the wrong way, as usual. I love these things. These are so good. Thank you again, Will. You, my man, are a legend. Just be gentle, cut out the whole lot at the same time. The thing about this pencil mark is I can't really see it very well. Now, see what I mean? Look at how clean those edges are. Right. So I'm going to cut out the handle bit now. I know the little gap is at the back. There's a little metal bit at the back anyway of the blade, so that's fine. Another one. I don't know if I have, if this will fit. Ugh. Bet you not. Oh wait. Come on. Jesus Christ. Excuse me taking the Lord's name in vain, but I don't believe in God, so it doesn't matter. And there you go, people. That's a sign. Don't throw out your scrap foam. And again, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm totally 100% sure. Should be, because this stuff is nasty. Toxic, nasty shit. I don't have any ventilation here. It's just a little small unventilated room, so I should be wearing my mask. So do as I say, don't do as I do, kids, right? Don't listen to me. Oh, you shite bag! Right, so what I did was, what I'm giving out about is I should have cut a right and a left, which technically I did. It's just the glue was on the wrong side. So I want it after using my scrap foam, I just put the glue on the wrong side. Bollocks. See what I mean? It should be that way. And then if I use, I'm going to see if I have any more scrap foam. I don't want that to be off. Balls. Yeah. Now it's on the right way. Woohoo! I'm going to Dremel here and here up to that. I mean, it looks good. You're looking at it like that. It looks great. But it doesn't, still wobbly. But I think in hindsight I need to buy a few carbon fibre tubes or some rods or something for things like this. My ears are in bits. If I haven't said it before, the trick to Dremeling is to take your time, to go easy, right? Don't overdo it. Take your time, go in the direction that the blade spins. Some of these Dremels and rotary tools can spin in two different directions, right? But my one only spins in one direction, right? So you go with the direction the thing is spinning. If you try and pull it back, it might grab the foam, tear, like what happened at the top there. You can see it maybe on the top of the camera, right? I'm not overly worried about that. I can fix that, right? I'm going to put super glue down into it. I'm going to use the accelerant, and then I'm going to try and sand it again. I'm happy with the actual blade. There's a few bits here that came through where the lines of the foam are, right? But again, that's not too bad. I am going to use some of my polyprops filler stuff. That should do the job. It just means I won't be able to paint it today. Right, there's one more thing I wanted to do, and I'm going to show it you now. There's 3 little dots on the handle, right? Super glue there, and I want to put those dots on it, but I don't want to glue anything on. Like I don't want to use my rivets right on it because it's going to be exposed. What I want to do is make a hole on it, and then if I whack my heat gun over it, the heat gun will bring out the marks. I'll show you what I'm talking about now. And I'm going to use this to make a small indentation in it. You'll see it there, and then when I whack the heat gun on it, the heat gun will shrink the foam and bring that little hole out. Now watch this, right? I don't know whether you can see that on camera, but this is where the little circles are. You know what? That's too hot, it's going to melt the foam. You have to take your time with it. And it's going to open up the foam. There's none on, I don't know whether you can see it, right? None on that side. Right? I don't have a camera that can zoom in that far. You can see the thing's open now. It's just a shrink in the foam, slightly, but it did that. It shrank the foam, and it looks great. So I think next, right, I have to find this stuff. Oh wait, I don't have to find it. It's right in front of me. Now, this is just the craft filler. It's pretty good. Right, I'm just going to smear it on the blade. I'm going to get a bit of water, and then I'm going to put a bit more kind of glue maybe up here. There's a bit of like lines on it and marks and stuff. Again, that's what your sanding is for. Right, so I gave it a coat of, well, a couple of coats of Flex Bond. Let it dry in between coats. Yeah, it did a good job. You know, it's still wobbly, as you can see, but if you hold it up straight, it's fine. Anyway, and then I coated the other side with black paint, just random black paint, because you know silver goes over black. I don't mind. Look at this. I just coated one side, not the other. So let's get the other one done anyway. I'm trying to get like kind of a consistent thing with it, you know. The Flex Bond is great. Really stiffens it up, gives it a good sheen, so to speak, like. But it leaves a lot of brush strokes. I wish there was a sprayable version of it or something would be much better. You know, I was thinking of, after I put the Flex Bond on, using some black Plastidip or that sealer spray from Polyprops, but it doesn't really matter. It's such a small project. You can get away with doing like just using hand paints like. Now, I have an idea for the actual blade itself. Has a little snake thing on it, right? And it has Krauser's name written below it. I don't want to put the name on it. It's too fiddly, but I definitely want to put the snake on it, right? So, what I have an idea is I'm going to try and draw a snake on a bit of this, right? See if I can paint there. I know the head broke off, but I can glue the head back on. Now, and I need silver paint. So I'm gonna go. I normally use dark silver, but I'm just gonna use this normal silver. I don't even think I'm going to weather the bloody thing. Just make it look like a nice new. I mean, I could put zombie blood on it and some guts and stuff, but nah. Going to try and draw a line to where that is down the middle. That ain't happening. I don't have that much of a steady hand. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Right, so what I need to do is take this off. Fingers crossed. Let's see if it worked out well. Not too bad. I mean, it could have been better. You can kind of see it there, or can you? I think it looked out. It doesn't look too bad, and we can touch up the bits that had the silver show through. Right, I think I'm done. I'm very happy with that. Looks pretty badass. It's just going to be a display piece. It's not going to go to con or anything like that. Like, it's kind of just, you know, probably for it on display in the wall somewhere. I'll find somewhere for it. The downfall is that it's still a bit wobbly. You can see that there. But again, it's going to go on display, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not ever going to dress up as Krauser. No, it's never going to go to a con. But the snake turned out pretty deadly as well. Kind of see that on both sides there. The cheap paint worked out quite well. Give it a good kind of sheen. The flex bond as well. Pretty happy with it. Now, I did mention a competition in the last thing. There's only about 5 or 6 comments on it, so I'm going to give it till maybe the end of next week or something after this video, and then I'll just do a quick update video, probably only about a minute long, of who I've picked out. I'm going to write all the names down on a bit of paper. I'm going to drumble them up in a ball. I'm going to throw them into a little cup. I'm going to get my wife or someone else to pick one out, and I'll just send it off to that person. Okay, so far I've about 5 or 6 comments I think who want it. Right, that's it. If you liked the video, give me a like, give me a subscribe. If there's anything you think I can build or I should build, slap in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Good luck. It turned out great. The handle is still fairly thick. Stuff. No. The handle is still very stiff. Fucking brain. Yeah. Oh, camera is so off.